Okay, a lot. So today I will be showcasing a very special sort of clip to my heart, I guess, because this is the first time I beat the hardest level difficulty. And if you didn't know yet, because like before you can see it, you have to unlock it all the way until the king difficulty, is that in the king difficulty, once you have all of these trains added, right, there is actually a hidden sixth stage in the game. So instead of the game ending after 5 stages, you will also get a sixth one for a total of 30 games. Now, you can also get this done if you select all of the straights in the custom lobby. As you can see, you'll also get the stage 6 condition. But yeah, this is a hidden boss that is called the Mighty Kasparov. And why it feels special to me is because potentially, look, at least according to the developer, I may have been the very first person in the world to actually beat this boss. That's because I was using the Steam copy of like content creators, which received the game slightly earlier, just so we can prepare some content for the game launch. And yeah, I managed to beat it, and I will showcase the run that I did it in. I do have to say that for the strategy, I didn't really know what to do going into it. However, from the gambits that I've researched, from the gambits that I've used, because you can see some of the gambits already have like all 6 of these marked, because you did beat a run with the king difficulty, and I think I've used like a total of 12 gambits in total, something like that. You'll see some of them have these marked, because the gambits of course disappear as you move. I found that there is one particular gambit which is pretty much like a key to winning in this game, and especially against the stage 6 boss, and that is the Demon's Gambit. It is only a rare gambit, which means that it is relatively easy to find in the shop, right? But this gambit is pretty much an absolute hard counter to the king difficulty boss Mighty Kasparov. And here's why. The boss itself, I'm not sure if it writes here, yeah, it does. The difficulty, or rather the condition on this boss is when the boss captures a piece, skips your next turn. So if you imagine if you played with some gambits where they allow you to skip turns as you capture pieces, yeah, the enemy can do the same on your side as well. So imagine if you have 5 pieces lined up, you lose one of them, and that's pretty much game over because he'll capture all of them. There is no limit to how many turns he can skip. However, this gambit actually allows you to essentially stop that combination completely, because if he captures a piece that is placed on a black tile on your side, he'll actually not get the extra skip turn. It will be just like a regular capture where he took the piece and now it's your turn. So I'll showcase how that worked out for me in the game. Another MVP gambit in that game was the Catapults gambit. I didn't really plan on playing around this one, but I did manage to get it. So I quickly tried to get a few rooks in the game. And this one, capturing a piece with no neighbors with a rook, skips the enemy turn, which means that essentially when the queen comes to capture one of my pieces placed on the black tile, not only can I capture it back with my rook, but I can also take another piece because I get an extra turn for usually capturing no neighboring piece. So let me actually showcase you the run itself, and I'll give you some commentary over it. And there we go. This is the actual run after the first stalemate where I got the win. So what I realized that if I place my rooks in this manner, right, like the 3 rooks, the queen can either capture this rook or this rook, right? And both of those are on a black tile, which means that they will be skipping a turn. Plus, I can then use the rook in my corner to capture it back and take the other queen as well, because the one that I capture will not have any neighbors, which means the enemy will be skipping the turn and I can take that one out. Now, once you have the weight and the landing pieces, like the pieces with those conditions out, you can easily start building up some more pieces on the left side. So you'll see that throughout this game, I pretty much try to not touch the right side of the board at all until the very late game. Also, got very lucky with the crumbler piece here because, as you can see, it sort of removed one of the tiles here, which would have been very, very damaging if the queen came into the backline. I would have a lot of trouble dealing with that. In this one, both of my rooks were under fire, so I knew that I will be losing one of them. However, actually, no, wait, I did capture that, I forgot. But one of my rooks is running on out of durability, so essentially what this means is once it captures 5 pieces, it will turn into a random piece, which I didn't really want it to happen because I don't know what that piece would be. So in a way, I sort of just sacrificed that just to clear out a few more pieces from the board. And yeah, as you can see, I'm going for that. And then I wanted to put some more pieces in play because 2 of my queens on the right side were sort of locked behind not being able to move. Like, if you look at it, they don't have a single square that they can move safely without getting captured by either the pawn or the elite queen. So I knew that I have to sort of try to breach through on the left side of the board. And yeah, I managed to use up the what's it called? The capture on the defensive tile without getting captured myself. Now that I look at it, I could have captured that rook at the top there and actually skipped the turn. So a little bit of a misplay there, but it's still a very good position because if you look at the enemy setup, it has a lot of tiles gone. The rest of the tiles are blocked behind the queen. And in this position, like, he moves, I can just continue placing queens and getting them into the backline for safety. Plus, I'm able to sort of clear out the pawns relatively safely, even if I sacrifice. So that was a free pawn. And at this point, I knew that if I take this pawn, since he does have to skip the turn, I can put another sacrificial piece there. It's on a black tile, it will skip a turn, and I will be able to take the victory. So yeah, if you want to try it yourself as well, here's the seed that you see on the screen. And yeah, as you can see, the maximum difficulty is there. I managed to somehow beat it. This was, I think, this was my first time beating the boss, but it was my second attempt at actually trying the boss. So I beat it relatively quickly, I'd say. The first time I lost because I just didn't know what the condition is and I didn't know how it interacted. I saw that it skips a turn. I thought that it will skip a maximum of 1 turn. Turns out it's not a maximum of 1 turn. Turns out it can just skip, and it essentially just cleared my whole board in a single turn. So yeah, this was my second attempt, but I guess if you can say the first real attempt after I actually knew the condition. And I was lucky enough to get the gambit and beat the boss. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to give it a try once you unlock the king difficulty. It's a very, very fun experience, not just the boss itself, but throughout the run, because the strategies change a lot compared to the early difficulties. You'll see that even the regular stages will be relatively difficult because of all of those strains turned on. And yeah, hope you enjoy and stay tuned for next videos on Gambonanza. Peace.